A very good morning, students, to all. Welcome back, student, to class 7, chapter number 1, Civics on Equality. Okay, student, last we have seen that India is a democratic country. As we know, all India is a democratic country. So, what is the special principle of democratic country? The democracy in India is totally based on the equality. What I told you, student, I repeat again, the democracy in India is totally based on the equality. Okay, it means each and every citizen in equal India, right from the president to the poorest section of the society. All the people are equal. Okay, so student, based on this, we are going to start our next topic, that is equality in the Indian democracy. Equality in the Indian democracy. Okay, so as I told you earlier, once again I repeat, okay, our constitution recognizes every person as equal. Okay, I told you right from the principal right from the president or a prime minister to the poorest section of the poorest person of the society. These all the persons are equal. Okay, including male, female, all the religions, all the caste, all the gender, okay, tribe, educational and economic backgrounds, all the people should be treated equally. This is called the equality and it is mentioned in our constitution. Okay, so when I talk about the equality, student, so at that time we have seen in those two stories that one was about Om Prakash Valmiki, okay, and one was about the Muslim family. Okay, so in both of the cases, it might be look like that the laws regarding the equality was not there. Okay, the laws regarding the equality was not there. Okay, and that's why no one has opposed this type of inequality. Okay, but so we can say that, student, in earlier time there were no laws regarding the equality, but now government has made some laws, some rules and regulations regarding the equality. Okay, regarding the every person should be treated equally. Government has made some laws. Okay, so here we will see some of the principles, some of the laws which is made by the government, some of the laws which are made by the government. So first is every person is equal before the law, from president or prime minister up to the poorest person of the society. Okay, second, no person is discriminated, no person is discriminated based on the gender, caste, religion, okay, and place of birth. On all these grounds, no one should be discriminated. It means the person should be treated equally, whether he belongs from any of the religion, whether he or she belongs from the any of the place, any of the caste, any of the gender. Okay, we have to give them equality, we have to provide them equality. Okay, this is the third principle. This is the second principle. Now I will tell you the third principle. Clear, student? Every person has access to all the public places. Okay, as when you go to the temple, right now in the current scenario, when you go to the temple, then nobody prevent you to entering the temple. Okay, because of what? Because now we believe in the equality. Okay, but once there was a time in India, at that time the access to the public places were not equal to all the people. Okay, so this principle is about that period only. Okay, every person has equal access to all the public places. Public places, it means like a road, gardens, temples, okay, mall, multiplex. These all are the public places when all people should have access. No one should be discriminated on the caste or religion backgrounds. Okay, and one most important thing, student, one most important thing, listen carefully, the untouchability which was commonly faced by Dalit lower caste people was completely abolished by the government of India. Okay, the untouchability was completely abolished by India. Now, if anyone practices untouchability, then it should be a punishable offense. Okay, it should be punishable offense. So the untouchability is totally banned from India, abolished from India. So student, the main focus of Indian government was to bring equality in the country. So this equality, the government can bring this equality by two ways. The first is by implementing or by imposing some strict rules and regulations. Okay, by strict laws, implementing strict laws. Okay, and the other one is by implementing the various government schemes and various government policies which will be useful for the lower caste people, or which will be useful for the people those who became the victim of inequality. Okay, so there are two ways. The government have two ways to solve this issue. Clear, student? So here we will talk about the schemes, the second way. Okay, that the government has introduced the various schemes and policies. So here, student, we will talk about the one of the policies which was introduced by government of India before 20 to 30 years. Okay, and the name of that scheme is midday meal scheme. Okay, most of the you might be familiar with this scheme, midday meal scheme. Okay, which is prevailed in the government schools. Okay, students, this midday meal scheme is operational in the government schools. Okay, and which is the first state of India who first of all implemented this scheme in his state. So student, Tamil Nadu is the first state of India who implemented this scheme, this midday meal scheme, Tamil Nadu. Okay, and here what is the function of this scheme? What are the main principles of this scheme? The first and very most important principle of this scheme, midday meal scheme, is, student, they have to provide, the government have to provide the cooked food. The government had to provide the cooked food to the students. Cooked lunch they have to provide. The government had to provide the cooked lunch to the student. Okay, and now you will tell me what is the benefit of this to provide the cooked lunch. Basically, student, this scheme is basically operational in the poor areas. Okay, the areas which is the full of poverty. Okay, and where the people don't have even 2 times meal also, in these areas this scheme is specially implemented. Overall, this scheme is implemented in all the areas, but especially in the poor areas this scheme is working effectively. Okay, so what is the benefit of this, student? The benefit of this is with the help of this midday meal scheme, the government can increase the enrollment and the attendance ratio of the student. Okay, so at least the student can come to school to only eat the lunch, but with eating lunch also they get something in their mind. They get some kind of education in their mind. So by this way the attendance ratio will be improved. Okay, so this is the most important benefit of this scheme. Okay, earlier what happened when students came to school? So during the lunch time they had gone to home. Okay, during the lunch time they went to home, and after completion of lunch, the students didn't get back to school. So the attendance of the school worst. The ratio of the the ratio of the attendance of the school decreased, and to increase and to improve this ratio, the government has started this midday meal scheme. Clear all of you, student? Okay. And here one more thing, student, I want to tell you. The one more thing that also made this scheme very special, and that is what? That is, when this food is cooked, I told you, I clearly mentioned you, the government has to provide a cooked lunch. Cooked lunch, it means it should be cooked in school only. Okay, so it should be cooked. It means the government has to hire someone. The government have to hire some people to cook the food. Okay, so government has preferred to hire those people, to employ those people who are basically belong to the lower caste. Okay, so by this way the student can get their food, and those people who cook the food, they also belong to the lower caste. So indirectly the lower caste people also get employment, and by this way they can increase the standard of living. So by both this way, this scheme is very helpful, and this scheme proved to be boon for the poor children and poor people both. Okay, so student, what is the conclusion of this topic? So we can say that conclusion of this topic is, the government is trying to give the equality to all the Dalit children. Okay, so their condition will not be like the condition of the Om Prakash Valmiki. Okay, we have seen the story of Om Prakash Valmiki. Okay, he belonged to the lower caste, and because his caste, he had faced a lot of inequalities. Okay, so now here government is trying to equal all the people, especially the Dalit children, the lower caste children. Clear all of you, student? Okay, but still there are a lot of children in our country like Om Prakash who are still discriminated and who are still becoming the victim of inequality because of the caste, and completely the government is trying to prevent, but still the reality is there. The government also couldn't prevent all this inequality. Okay, the government also couldn't prevent this inequality, this discrimination. This is the reality of our country, students. Clear all of you? Okay, still there are so many still there are so many children who have not seen the school, and even they are working in the hotels, restaurants, and so many other places. Okay, at the age of learning in school, they are working in the different type of places. Okay, and now you tell me, sir, what is the reason of this? So student, basically the reason of this thing is the people's attitude. They don't want to change their attitude towards this lower caste people, towards this poor children. Okay, even if you have seen someone, if you have observed someone, okay, so in hotel, in restaurant, so over there the small poor children are working. Okay, so towards their future, no one is compassionate towards their future. Okay, and the people didn't want to change their attitude. People don't want to change their attitude towards this kind of children. Okay, so if we will change our attitude, then also we can then only we can change this scenario, then only we can change this condition. Okay, student, now most of the people know that these things are against the democracy, but still they are practicing. We know that in democracy we should not apply and we should not practice all these things, but still because of our negative attitude we are doing all these things. Because of our negative attitude and because of that poor children's appearance was so poor appearance, and because of that appearance and because of our attitude, we are not changing, and maybe we can also say that we don't want to change ourselves. Okay students, so here the conclusion finally of this topic is that student, whatever we do or whatever we say, but the reality is there. So many countries want to bring the change in this condition, okay, but to bring the equality among all the people is a very long and uncontinuous struggle, and we have to continuously fight with this struggle, okay. And the one and the most important thing, student, as a responsible citizen, you also can apply in your life in future, okay, that is, you have to be responsible and you have to adopt a positive attitude to all the children of the India, to all the citizens of the India. Okay student, are you getting my point, all of you? Thank you so much. Now we will take the next topic in the next period. Thank you so much. Good night.